welcome to today's video. First thing I want to say is that I don't actually have glasses. I've just been struggling with a little bit of a headache today, and these are my blue light blocking glasses, so I put them on. Luffy and I are here to share with you. I am about to do a 4th of July themed table setting. I went to Michael's, and God bless whoever is in charge of Michael's right now, because it seemed like half the store was like 60 to 70% off. So being the person who's like super into sales that I am, I went a little crazy. This is my little teeny receipt, which I mean, you could buy nothing at CVS and it would be a longer receipt than this. I spent $29 exactly. I love it when that happens. I spent $29 exactly with tax. And here's what I got. First, I got this little pot. It's got these little cute little blue dots on it. This will be great for potting a little flower in. I got this giant patriotic floaty because my friends and I were actually on the way to the lake. When we stopped at Michael's, we stopped to get floaties. I spent $3 on this giant floaty, and then I took it to the lake. I had a great time floating around on the lake with that. This little basket box, but whatever this is, 2 little flags, and then I was accumulating red, white, and blue flowers because I wanted to do this table setting. So these are the blue ones that I got. This one had a lot of flowers. It was $15, but then it was 70% off. But that was the most expensive one that I bought, but it had so many flowers, it was a better deal for me than buying several small ones. And this little bunch of white flowers, this large white flower, I liked the idea of having a big flower in the middle of it, and I love Gerbera daisies. And then for my red flowers, I got 2 sprigs of this one that I thought was super fun, and then these extra greenery pieces to be filler and help make it all come together. I'm hoping that these are enough flowers to fill up this whole box and make it look super cute, and then have the little flags, and it's going to look great. I'm going to get some scissors first and then try to put all this together. Okay guys, so I start by pulling off all the tags because I don't want any of those to show when the finished arrangement. So getting rid of them before you start is just a good way to start, in my opinion. I also have a very unorthodox way of getting my flowers to stay, and that is using Walmart bags, I guess is what you call them, whatever those little disposable plastic bags are. I keep them to use for my cat litter, and then I also use them for my flower arrangements. But because I didn't want them sticking out the side of the box, since there are little cutouts in this box, I took some of that grass cover stuff and just put it in around the edges. I know that's a very odd thing to use, but it works for me. So when I start putting in the flowers, I usually start with some of the bigger flowers, but I like to use the ones that are kind of your base flowers, is what I'm going to call them, that are larger, kind of the filler flowers, and then I'm going to go ahead and use this one. It's always better to cut the stems longer than you think you'll need than shorter, because of course you could cut off more if you needed to, but you can't really add length very easily. I really thought this daisy was going to be too big, but as I started putting in more and added more height to it, I actually really like having the large element. I think that was actually a really good idea, so I'm glad that I got that one, and I just got it because I like Gerbera daisies, so it worked pretty well. I did this one-sided, so you guys are kind of having to look at the back here in this angle. I apologize for that, but because of the way my house is and that it was going to be on my table and there are windows just behind it, I didn't really need it to be two-sided, so I didn't go across the whole thing. And then I did have wired flowers for some of it. This one's not, it's plastic, so I'm just trying to bend it. But for your ones that are wired flowers, it's super nice because that makes it a lot easier to kind of bend where you want them to be in the arrangement. Alright, so here's what we've got so far. I think it's coming together, but I do want to fill it in a little bit because you'll be able to see the sides and the front. So I think I'm going to put some blue there in the middle to kind of fill it, and maybe some greenery where I can kind of lift this white one up a little bit so it pops a little more, and then make sure I've got some color and greenery coming up a little bit higher out of it, especially with this really large element. And then when I have the flags coming out of it, I want to make sure that they are kind of prominent. So I'm going to give you guys a different angle here as we keep going. I want to add some more blue. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm leaving the greenery on it so that it just continues to add some more filler for me. But see how that just kind of, you know, adds some texture, and then I'm just going to shift this red one a little bit. It's kind of coming right out of that blue. It just kind of fills it in. I actually think that greenery is one of the most important aspects of your arrangement because it gives it a dimension that's really needed, especially when you're doing such full arrangements, which usually look better, honestly. But I think a lot of people, they want to go with the flowers and forget the greenery, and it's so important. Okay, I'm pretty pleased with that. Now that I'm looking at it again though, because I have this kind of on that side, I don't like the blue one being on that side as well. I think what I might do is move the large white one a little more into the center screen a little more, which also gives us the blue popping out a bit more. Now we just need to add in our flags. Hope you guys enjoyed following along. I had a lot of fun making it, even though I'm not a professional decorator or florist in any way whatsoever. I've just started doing this on my own. This is probably the second or third one that I've done, honestly, so I know I'm not a professional, but I like having things that are festive and really fun to look at as centerpieces on my table or just around my house. So I hope you guys enjoyed following along. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you make your own 4th of July themed centerpiece, feel free to drop a picture in the comments below. Happy 4th of July!